What if I told you automating web scraping can be as easy as 1, 2, and 3? You see, scraping data used to be really difficult. You had to go online, find the source for the data. Then you had to go copy the data from the source, paste it into your database or Google Sheets or whatever you end up using. And then you have to process the data. In today's video, I will show you how you can automate data scraping using n8n, which is a no-code automation platform that allows you to set up workflows without having to write any line of code. And we're going to be using the Firecrawl API. This is the second video of a video series in which I'm going to showcase all the capabilities that Firecrawl have available to you. This is not a paid video. I'm just a fan of Firecrawl, but I will leave my referral link down in the description below. This affiliate link or referral link, whichever I end up using, will pay me a little bit of money if you end up signing up for a Firecrawl account, but it won't cost you anything. I am curious, what would you use Firecrawl for? What kind of data would you scrape? Please let me know down in the comments below. And I would say that whichever comment get the most likes, I will record a video on your use case and try to build that workflow for you. All right, this is the n8n dashboard. And once you sign up for your account, you will be in their dashboard. All you want to do is you want to start from scratch. And if you're following along with me, please feel free to stop and continue moving forward because I'm going to guide you through every step. Now, for the first step, in my case, I'm going to trigger this workflow manually. So this button down here, that would allow me to trigger the workflow. For the next one, we're going to go under core and we're going to add an HTTP request, but we're going to leave it here. We're going to jump back now to the Firecrawl dashboard. And if you are not familiar with Firecrawl, if you're not familiar with their dashboard, I recommend you to go and watch the first video in this video series in which I go in depth into the dashboard and where to find what and which endpoints work doing what use cases. That would be really helpful for you before watching this video. With that being said, moving forward, what we want to do is, now that you're here, you want to open the docs. So I'm going to right click, open the docs. I actually already had them open down here. So we're going to leave it there. Also, you want to open the Extract tab and you want to click on Try in Extract Playground. And this is going to be used here in a moment. I'm going to go back because I had already opened both tabs. All right, so we're going to go down and this is your documentation. Once you're in the documentation, this is the documentation homepage. Now, while you're here on the left sidebar, you are going to find the Extract menu option. Click there, scroll down, and you're going to find the sample usage. You want to make sure you're in curl. We're going to copy this because what we want to do is we want to supply this to n8n for it to build the API endpoint so we don't have to do it manually. It will do it for us. So once we copy this, we're going to go back to n8n. We're going to click on import curl. We're going to paste it. And we're going to import it. Now, as you can see, it has built the endpoint for us, but we want to do a few things just to make sure that we are using best practices and we're saving time. So we're not spending it doing things repetitively. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going under authentication. We're going to go to generic credential type. We're going to click here and we're going to find the header authorization. And we're going to copy this first one here. So we're going to add a new credential. For the name, we're going to paste authorization. For the value, we're going to enter the word bearer. Let me make sure. We're going to enter a space. We're going to go back to the Firecrawl dashboard. We're going to go to API keys. We're going to copy a key. Now, you get a default key that you can use for your projects. I recommend you creating one specifically for n8n so you can delete it later on, just like I will do after done recording this video. The way that you can create an API key is by clicking this black button on the top right corner, and you enter a name and it creates the key for you. Now we're going to go back here. We're going to paste the key. We're going to click save, and we're going to close this pop-up. Everything else will stay the same, at least for now. Now we're going to go back to the canvas. And what we want to do is we want to enter another HTTP request. And this time we're going to go back to the documentation. We're going to click on asynchronous status and status checking. So basically what we want to do is we're going to get the status of the first workflow after the trigger and make sure that it run and it had done everything that it needs to do in order to be able to push the data forward. If that is true, then I will continue moving forward. If that is false, we will go back and make sure that it's doing it, and we're going to get the status again after 5 seconds. We're going to copy this, and we're going to go to n8n. We're going to input this curl, so we're going to delete the one that we already had. We're going to input that one, click import, and for the authentication, again, generic credentialing type, the header, and we want to do the header account. We're actually going to change this to be Firecrawl API. That way, as we enter other credentials later on for future videos, we know which API which, and it's easier for data management and to ensure that you're using the right credentials from the right things. All right, there is nothing else that we need to send, but there is one thing that we are going to do, and that will require us to execute this node. And that way we have this data available. Now we're going to build an expression, and let me put in the expression. And that way we know exactly which workflow is checking for us based on this expression. Now, the way we're going to build this expression is going to be, we're going to open two curly bracket. Actually, we're going to go back. We're going to rename this. Let's make sure that I think that's pretty self-explanatory. All right, it's going to be extract that item that JSON that ID. All right, there is an issue here. Yep. Okay. All right. Think this is good. All right. So it works. And this is going to be called check status. All right. Now for the next step, we're going to add an if node where we're going to see if the data is empty. All right, let's test this. All right, here. So you want to do an array. So basically what you want to do is you want to drag the data fields, JSON.data, to the expression. Then for the array, it's going to be empty. So if there is no data available, then it's going to be true. So if it's true, what we want to do is we want to wait for a little bit. So we're going to wait for 5 seconds. And from here, we're going to go back and check the status. And once the status is ready to go, so if it's false, then we're going to send our data to Google Sheets. And now to be able to add data to Google Sheets, what we're going to do is we're going to create new credentials. We're going to sign in with Google. We're going to open this email address that I use for demo purposes. We're going to give it access. The connection was successful. So we're going to go back. We're going to close this. And we're going to add to sheet within document, Crunchbase leads, and we're going to change our initial node here in a moment just to make sure that we are working on the right things. And now we're going to start mapping data, but we cannot map data without going back and executing. So now for the fun part is we're going to be scraping Crunchbase for some data that we want to get. So I will show you how you can use the playground to your advantage in this. Okay. So we're going to be scraping this specific page. So what we want to do is copy this link. We're going to go back here and we're going to delete everything between the quotation marks. So we're only going to be scraping this one. Yep, that one. And we're not going to be scraping no Y combinator. It's no need for it. Now for the prompt, what I did is if you go to the playground, let me actually open a new playground here for me to show you. And what you want to do is scrape company name, headquarters, location, headcount, and rate. Right. This link. So basically you will provide the data that you want to extract and the link that you want to extract it from. You will generate parameters. So we're generating parameters and it's giving you right here all the parameters that you requested. So the company, the name, headquarters location, headcount, growth rate. And this is the problem that I made for you. And this is the link. From here, all you want to do is, and I will use this one because that's the one that I had created. So this is the prompt. Go back and here in between the prompt, you want to paste it there. And now for the schema, we're going to go back to Firecrawl. And basically, this is what you get if you toggle the JSON view. You're going to see on the JSON here. You will want to copy it, paste it in. Actually, we're going to copy it from here. We're going to open a new chat in Gemini. With the format of this JSON without changing anything other than format. I was going to ask Gemini to fix this for us. Actually, this is an overkill. I'm using 2.5 Pro. We're going to copy this code. And we're going to delete everything from type on down. Let's make sure we're missing one curly bracket. Yep, this should be good. Let's actually take the whole thing to Gemini. And this is one of the hardest parts because when you copy from the Firecrawl playground, fortunately the JSON doesn't, the format doesn't transfer as it's supposed to. So it's a little bit challenging using it. But let's paste this one, let's test it. It looked like it's going to work. All right. So, yep, it's working. So I will tell you what, we're going to, let's actually test the whole workflow. All right, there is an issue here. All right, let's ask the assistant why. What are we doing wrong? You're encountering suggests that if now expecting an array, but it's receiving object. It is receiving an object, is receiving array. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to delete this. We're going to add if statement. And what we're going to do is we are going to say that if it's empty, all right. Let's try this one more time. And let's just go to Google Sheets, make sure nothing was saved. It's still empty. We're going to run it again. Okay. Yeah. All right, let's take a moment and look at this. All right, I got an idea. Maybe it's not the most functional idea, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this and I'm going to bring the status here. And now we're going to match this is equal to, and it's going to be processing. So, all right, it seems to work. So let's run the whole thing again. Column to match on parameter is required. Column to match on is required. I guess this is. So we're going to start adding these tags. So that's the head count, hit score, company name, growth score, foundation, headquarter location, and go prediction score. Okay. Think we should be good now. Let's test this again by extracting the data. All right, let's test it again. All right, it looked like the whole thing worked out. Let's go to Google Sheets. Let's refresh this page. Okay, so here we have it. We got protect AI, head count 75, hit score 35. It didn't get the growth score on the prediction score. That's fine, but we still got the foundation day and the headquarters location. Let's go back here. So gross score, it was there, 88. His score is 97. He's at 35. Let's see, where's getting 35 from. Okay. So he grabbed the wrong number. I don't know where he grabbed it from, but then you get the head count at 75. So it's somewhere in the middle between 51 and 100. But 75 as an average is not bad. Location, Seattle, Washington, United States. Seattle, Washington, United States. Foundation date, 2022. Founded in 2022. So overall, it grabbed enough the data. It grabbed the name, protect AI. So overall, the data is not that bad. Could improve a little bit, but you got to keep in mind that this is actually using automation. So I only provided a link, and the link actually returned that data. Now, some things that we could have done is actually going to go back to the dashboard. If I wanted to, I could have companies. So let's try to get some companies that are similar to OpenAI. Where can I get data? Let's see. Okay. Similar companies. All right. So a way that I could have gone about it is I could have copied that, paste it here, run. You only found one. So let's actually run this one. Perhaps the crawler can find a little bit more companies. Okay. Hmm. What I'm actually trying to do is I'm trying to find, see, trying to actually find some of the best companies in AI. Let's try this link. I don't think it will be the best, but I have other ideas to illustrate my point here in a moment. But okay, it returns some data. So hopefully we can get, okay, yeah. Fortunately, enough websites now have bot protection, so it's becoming challenging to scrape data. But my idea was that I will show you what I'm talking about rather than tell you. We could do something like this, where we can get a whole bunch of links. Yep, a whole bunch of links like this. And we copy all these links, paste them here, paste it here as a list, and that way we can actually scrape data from more than one link at a time and get all the data added all at once into our leads Google Sheet. Fortunately, I don't think we're able to do in Crunchbase unless there is something that I am not seeing, but perhaps play around and let me know down in the comments below how to do it. I would be interested in learning from what you learn. I'm pretty sure that there are many ways to go about it. I just don't know how to do it at this point.